You'll just let me know.
Yep. Do you get the notification?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay. And let me make sure. Great. And we're live officially. So welcome everyone to NCVLI's Rights Project latest Facebook Live series, Ask for Rights, a live series to create awareness of how to ask for victims' rights. Each session will focus on a different topic area around instances where we ask for rights for crime victims. We will be here live on the third Tuesday of each month in 2022 to speak with our partners across the country, including RISE Project legal clinics, to discuss innovative ways we can ask for rights in various areas of our justice system to ensure crime victims are meaningfully engaged in our system and activating their respective rights. The National Crime Victim Law Institute fields thousands of technical assistance requests annually and encourages everyone to seek our expertise anytime you're facing challenges or concerns relating to asserting or enforcing victims' rights. We are always here to help. This month, we are excited to have with us Tamika Cannon, Senior Staff Attorney at the South Carolina Victim Assistance Network. Welcome to our series, and thank you so much for the great work that you're doing on behalf of crime victims. Tell us a little bit about the types of victims' rights work you provide to victims of crime and why this is important.
Thank you for having me. So at SCVAN, we provide a wide range of services to victims of crime. I'm within the legal department, so we provide direct legal representation to crime victims by assisting them throughout the criminal process. That may include filing motions on behalf of the victims to assert their constitutional rights. And we also help them with related civil cases and matters such as restraining orders and orders of protections if those matters derive from a criminal event.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're helping victims ask for rights and the right to restitution?
Yes, so we file motions seeking restitution. And so this is something that we really started to focus on as a part of the appellate law clinic with SCVAN beginning last year. So as part of the commitment to helping crime victims actually obtain restitution, we start during the ongoing criminal case and actually file requests for the restitution in the event the prosecutor here does not ask for it. We also help victims to try to find assets that offenders may have so that they can actually recover restitution if it is awarded. So we help them explore all of those options related to restitution.
That's awesome. That's amazing work. When
you.
you think about this area of rights, what are some ways that you've helped victims and survivors activate their rights in this area? Do you have any specific cases that may come to mind?
Yes. So a couple of specific cases, we started with a dialogue with the prosecuting agency. Here in South Carolina, that office is known as the solicitor's office. So in those cases, the victims had a right to ask for restitution, and that right was granted as a part of the Constitution here in South Carolina, the Victims' Bill of Rights. However, the solicitors in those cases refused to ask for the restitution. In both cases, they were of the opinion that it was unlikely that the victims would ever actually recover restitution, even if it were ordered. So that's a common problem here, where prosecutors will focus solely on the prosecution of a crime and not expend as much energy into helping compensate or restore the victim financially. So thanks to our involvement in those cases, we actually filed the motions on behalf of the victims and enabled them to ask for restitution. Without our assistance, they otherwise would not have likely sought the restitution, the solicitor was not going to help them in that process. So we were able to make it possible for them to get an award for the restitution.
Keep going, go ahead.
Oh, and in one of those cases in particular, well, the restitution, and this is a separate case actually, where the victim came to us and already had a restitution award. They had not been able to recover for a number of years from the defendant, which is also a very common problem, I think, everywhere, when it comes to restitution. We helped that victim to actually get the restitution by becoming involved in a sale of a home by the offender in that case. And so we, searched for his assets. We had a lot of communication with the victim in that case, learned about the sale, and we were actually successful in helping her recover a large sum of money for that restitution reward. So that was a success that we're definitely thankful to have helped the victim achieve.
That's incredible. That's definitely a major achievement in that case. Did you
Thank
learn anything in particular extra during that case that you think others in jurisdictions with similar laws or with similar cases could maybe benefit from?
Yeah, in one of the restitution cases that I mentioned, we actually worked with NCVLI to discuss some of the strategies during the hearing for restitution. And so they really helped us come up with a specific plan for that case. So from the very beginning, from the time that we filed the motion throughout the end, when the order was issued. So that strategy was very helpful for us. One of the suggestions they had was to use an actuary to claim lost wages. So in that particular case, there was a death involved, and so we wanted to seek lost wages. So NCVLI was able to get us in contact with someone who actually is experienced in making those types of calculations for calculating lost wages in the event of a death. So that was a really helpful connection to make, to know how the use of that professional within a restitution case can really bring a lot to a restitution claim.
Absolutely. Bringing in professionals and using our network and programs that are similar to each other, like SCVAN and NCVLI.
Yeah,
These partnerships are extremely important in victims' rights. So I'm glad that we were able to work together and find a solution.
yeah, I
Would
was
you
too.
Yeah, would you recommend that other victims' rights attorneys and advocates connect with NCVLI and its national network of victims' rights enforcement attorneys and advocates across the country?
I would certainly recommend that. I found that NCVLI staff really are experts in the area when it comes to victims' rights. They are really neutral as well in terms of the advice and recommendations that they make. And they help when we're reviewing our cases to give, I think, a national perspective, because they're well aware and informed about what's happening nationally for victims' rights. So with our appellate clinic, particularly, that is important, as we're hoping to make strides in the victims' rights arena here in the appellate courts.
Programs
It's
that are
definitely
similar to
helpful
each
to have
other,
guidance related to what's going on nationally within the appellate work related to victims.
Right. I'm just so enamored by everything that you are explaining, and you've done a lot to really help out with victims. And
Thank you. I appreciate
of
that.
course, we appreciate everything that you've been doing. We appreciate everything that you've said about NCVLI. Our attorneys really do work very hard, and we're really glad to have partnership with you. And
It's mutual. It's definitely mutual. Yeah.
where can people learn more about your work and access your resources?
We have a fantastic website, and that site is www.scvanlegal.org. And so we have lots of resources there, and applications can be submitted to our legal department, referrals for victims. So it's a very interactive site. That would be a great way to contact us.
Great. And I just put that website into our comment section for anyone who is watching so that they can easily access that. It's our collective responsibility to ensure that victims' rights are afforded, because meaningful victim participation ensures better systems and empowers communities. I wanted to thank you so much for joining me today. And you know this, and so I wanted to take a moment to lift this up a little bit. In just over 1 week, we'll be hosting our annual Voices for Justice event, which is a celebration honoring the work victims' rights attorneys, advocates, and organizations just like Tamika's and all of her work that she's done with SCVAN to ensure each victim can navigate the justice system with their rights being met. This year, we'll be joined by actress and advocate Katie Wee and musician Jonathan Biss. In our comment section, I have dropped the link to registration where you can find more information about the event, and we hope to see you there. Again, Tamika, thank you so much. And to learn more about the National Crime Victim Law Institute, the RISE Project, and our Ask for Rights campaign, you can go to www.ncvli.org today, and we'll see you next month.